In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
It looked like it was a controlled implosion. It didn't fall over. It looked as if somebody put TNT all throughout that building. It pancaked from floor to floor to floor.
Yo, you better wear your reflective vest, carry some mace, 'cause Mexicans are killing motherfuckers out there! In case you've been living under a rock, like I have, because I've heard her name, but I didn't know the case, but Mollie Tibbetts! Mollie Tibbetts, a 20-year-old woman from Iowa who made the mistake of going for a jog and being brutally murdered. Now you may ask, how did she get brutally murdered? It's Iowa. Oh, it's all farms. It's quiet country. It's blood. No, it's not! And I'll tell you why. Mollie Tibbetts, 20 years old, 1 year away from being able to secure her own life with a concealed carry permit, because Iowa only allows you to carry a weapon when you are 21. Yet you can fight for the country and die in its massive military-industrial complex at 18, but you can't drink or you can't own a firearm. Let me backpedal. You can't drink or you can't carry a concealed weapon in Iowa until you're 21. I digress. I'm sorry. Anyway, back to Mollie. She went for a jog. And this illegal immigrant, not undocumented, let's not be politically correct here, because there's no such thing as an undocumented immigrant. They're illegal. Did they go through the statutes? Did they go through the steps to become a legal immigrant? Stand by 1 second. This man right here, my great-grandfather, came here in 19 whatever the fuck, busted his ass, and came here legally. Why can't you Mexicans do it? Anyway, this illegal immigrant, who happened to be a farmhand at a local farm, came up to Mollie while she was jogging, advanced to her numerous times, in Spanish, mind you, because the fucking guy who lived here maybe 6 or 7 years still can't speak a lick of English. We'll touch on all this in a few minutes. Advanced on Mollie. Mollie said no. Guy comes back with a knife, stabs the fuck out of her, and leaves her body to rot in a cornfield until it's found a month later. This illegal immigrant takes the life of an American citizen, and we're supposed to feel sorry for the illegal immigrant? Right. I have no problem with immigrants coming here. I don't. Come here legally. If you want to come here that fucking bad, if you want to come here from such horrible environments that you live in, bust your ass, prove your worth, take the test, do the paperwork, boom, done. You're an American citizen. Instead, you're an illegal immigrant. I'm sorry, I didn't use the proper democratic liberal term here. Undocumented, which is bullshit, because, what, we're supposed to let anybody in? I'm supposed to pay for everybody because they come from squalor? I guarantee you, this guy that murdered Mollie was probably raping and murdering in Mexico. Nobody knows about it. Why? Because number one, he wasn't verified through E-Verify by his employer, which everybody should. I don't care if you're an American citizen. I don't care if you're a fucking immigrant. You go through E-Verify, you verify your immigration status, you verify you have no felonies, and then you can get a job. Now that leads me into this other thing that I want to touch base on, and it's probably going to piss a lot of people off, but farmers are partly to blame for this murder. Farmers. Our great American farmers that are holding our economy together. You're to blame for this murder. Why? Because you knowingly hire illegal immigrants because they cost less than hiring an American. You have no idea who you're hiring, whether they're rapists, whether they're convicts, whether they're MS-13. You have no idea. But please, do like you did in Iowa. Do like you did at the farm where this farmhand worked and offer him free housing where he doesn't have to pay for rent or food or anything like that. You're part of the problem. You're part of the reason this woman got murdered on American soil. Hire Americans. There are plenty of homeless people out there that I would guarantee would fucking shuck corn with the best of them. I guarantee you he wasn't lopping off cabbage in Mexico. He was probably raping every fucking broad he could find, running meth, and trying to climb a fence. The guy's a scumbag, and I hope he burns in fucking hell. And when did... And this whole farmhand thing with hiring farmhands, how are we not admitting the fact that this is modern day slavery? Think back to when the blacks were slaves. Okay, they were slaves. They were given their freedom after the Civil War. But then they became sharecroppers, which is still government slavery because, you grow whatever you want, but you owe part of it to the state or part of it to the federal government or part of it to whatever. You're still a slave to the system. So now you're going to find some fucking Mexican who's illegal, who shouldn't be here in the first place, yet you're a farmer in the Midwest, and you probably still vote Republican against illegal immigration, against the Mexicans coming here, but you hire them anyway, and you force them into slavery, but you say, oh, we're paying for their housing, so it must be okay. Yet your workers go out and murder somebody. You should be culpable. You should be held accountable. If you hired that person and they're illegal, you are just as much a murderer as that farmhand is. Fuck it. Why not? If that's what we have to start doing, start hanging the farmers. Fuck them. Fuck them. And like I said, Iowa. You can't carry concealed until you're 21. She was a year away. What's she supposed to do? Beat him with a fucking beanstalk? Fight him off with mace? Mace doesn't work. Mace doesn't work. Look it up. Mace doesn't work. Mace never has. If you want to carry something that is going to push an attacker away, it's illegal to carry, but oven cleaner, that foaming oven cleaner, spray that motherfucker in the face. But no. Carry mace. Carry knives. Or you could be like those idiots, those two fucking vegan vegetarian idiots that took a fucking bike ride through Europe and then through the Middle East and said, oh, evil is made up. Humans aren't inherently evil. We're all, to paraphrase, nice fucking people. Yeah, you know what happened to them? They went through Tajikistan or some fucked up country, got ran over by a car and stabbed by ISIS. But we're making up evil. Evil doesn't exist. Right. There are savages everywhere. There are no cultures. We're not cultured people. There are white savages, black savages, purple savages, yellow savages, red savages, fucking Asian savages, Mexican savages, Arab savages. I can go on and on. You either don't enjoy killing people or you do. That's your problem. And if you can't deal with the fact that a woman turns you down because you're some fucking dumbass Mexican, walk away. Why you gotta stab the bitch? Fucking idiot. And in my state, I couldn't carry concealed if I wanted to. My state has me by the balls, but does that stop me? No. I have a fucking pistol in my center console everywhere I go. Because you know what? I would rather kill anyone who tries to kill me or my family and go to jail than let that person kill me or my family. Because I value my family and my life more than that fucking scumbag. And I value it more than the stupid draconian laws that run this state. You are the only one that is responsible for your security. You are the only one that is responsible for your protection. You are the only one responsible for your life. Wake up. Do what you need to do. Fuck the laws. Protect yourself and your family. Democrats are to blame recently. Yeah, because they want open doors. Bring them in. They're live in such horrible living conditions. Let's bring them in and pay for them with the almighty tax dollar. Well, guess what? Republicans are to blame too. Reagan, the fucking patron saint of Republicans, passed the Immigration Reform and Control Act of 1986, which granted amnesty to 2.9 million people, illegal people, mind you, and that kind of opened the doors for all this bipartisan immigration bullshit that came afterward. But there are two things in this act that I want to make clear that has passed. The first part of the act required employers to attest to their employees' immigration status. Meaning, if you know they're legal or illegal, if they're illegal, you can't hire them. And the other part that strikingly hits this case, the act made it illegal to hire or recruit illegal immigrants knowingly. Now, the news can come out, and the family of this farm can say that this immigrant falsified Social Security paperwork, which showed he was legal and blah, blah, blah. But if they actually went through E-Verify and ran this guy, they would realize he was illegal, and they should have kicked him to the curb. Now, you might call me a xenophobe. Tony, you're a xenophobe! Why don't you like immigrants coming here? Your great-grandfather was an immigrant. My great-grandfather came here legally. The minute he hit the ground, he signed up for the army, fought in World War I, and got his naturalization. He knew this country was worth being here. But everyone else that comes here now thinks it's a free ride. So if that makes me a xenophobe, or a person who's afraid of people who are from other cultures or countries, fine. Because you know what? Xenophobia is America. Being a xenophobe is being an American. Because if you don't like this country and you don't want to protect this country, why are you here? All we're doing is catering to these illegals. How come you have to assimilate to every other culture in this fucking world except here? If you went to Italy and didn't learn fucking Italian and you went out to the countryside, you'd be fucked. But we're supposed to bend over backwards, get translators, press 1 for English in this country because this illegal who murdered this poor fucking woman was here for 6 or 7 years and couldn't learn fucking English? You either come here legally, assimilate to my culture, to the culture that me, my great-grandfather, and everyone else in this country fought for to keep the way it is, or you can get fucked. There are so many variables of what's wrong with this case, but we all know that the American farmer is to blame for not using E-Verify and for hiring illegal help. State lawmakers are to blame for not allowing American citizens at 18 years of age to protect themselves. And the Republicans and the Democrats are at fault and to blame because they want these illegals to come in here and dissolve this country. We need to secure this country. We need to secure ourselves. Because if you don't, you're going to be dead in a cornfield. It's a fucked up situation. But this Mollie Tibbetts case is going to happen more and more and more. And that is what we have to look forward to. This is going to be the new normal. So sit back, figure out your life, figure out how you're going to secure yourself and your family, and eat a dick.
I won't forget the men who died, who gave